Hello everyone, this is Generation Kid, and today have I got a video for you. As you can see on my screen, today we're playing the Brewmaster monk, the last remaining tank, which I placed at the bottom of the tier list based on like 2 monks I've played against. But after this video, you will change the opinion. I changed the opinion. I was like, what just happened in this video today? I could not believe my eyes. It's like, I had to duel those people that I beat 2 times, just to make sure that it wasn't a fluke. Like, one of them was really sketchy, but it was insane. It's like, I thought Brewmaster Monk was the worst, and it actually turns out they're not. So, I'm not gonna spoil where they end up, because I'll say that at the end of the video and you will see it. It's like, I'm gonna start this time with the tanks, because that's the more important part to me. It's like, how does Monk relate to other tanks? Because tanks in general seem to beat out DPS anyway. So, I'll save the DPS video for like tomorrow, because the most important thing is the tank video, because that's where like, how does the power to compare. It's like I haven't been able to find a protection paladin. I might find one later, but they seem to have magically disappeared after being like everywhere all the time. So yeah, that's why there's no protection paladin. But the other 2 tanks, I managed to duel the tanks that I thought were below in the below the paladin and the like strength rating, like the Dead Knight and the Demon Hunter. It's like after the playing Protection Warrior and Guardian Druid, it's like, sure, I'm not the best at Guardian Druid and Protection Warrior, granted, but they felt really weak in comparison to the other tanks, and I thought Brewmaster was below that, but apparently I was wrong. So let's go into the gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy it. I forgot to show my talents, because they're actually kind of useful, as you'd have no clue what I'm talking about. So here they are, and then we'll go into the gameplay. The that I'm using here is Eye of the Tiger, because that's like just passive. I don't have to like press another ability to make it happen. Celerity for the more rolls, because Tiger's Lust, another active, this is another active. I like to have some passes so I don't have to press too many buttons. Gift of the Mist, which you saw was especially useful in the against the Avenged Demon Hunter. So when you get lower health, you get more chance to proc, which means you can spawn like orbs like at really low HP, like instantly suck them in with expel harm, which is really nice. And I used light brewing as well, I think. I'm not sure if I used that. At least I used it against DPS, but that felt really underwhelming and not that useful. Then leg sweep. This is like just required. It's like the other 2. This one is PvP, PvE. This one is could be useful, but not really. It's like this one is just superior in my opinion, because it's just of the CC train that you can land with it. Healing elixir, this is just amazing as well. It's like you, not to mention that you automatically use it if you don't use it yourself, but you can really use it to like get that health back. Because dampen harm, it's like and the problem with dampen harm and diffuse magic is that they're really nice in PvE, because then you can expect the damage and you can count it with those things. But in PvP, sometimes people don't do their full damage, and then they like save their cooldowns a little bit, and then they use it later. And if you use like dampen harm with diffuse magic at the wrong point, then you're like sitting there like, well, fuck. So healing elixir is a lot better in my opinion. Then here, I was not sure if I didn't try it special delivery. I should try it out, because I didn't try it because it felt a little bit too RNG. I haven't seen it, so maybe that's my own fault. Maybe this will make Monk even stronger, because if this is reliable, like you can hit this reliably, it's like obviously a lot better than Rushing Jade Wind. And then Invoke Nizhou. I was like, taunting doesn't really work on PvP. And yeah, the damage, alright, it's like a 3-minute cooldown, doesn't feel worth it. It's like you could try special delivery actually. Then elusive dance, because yeah, the other 2 like reduces the cooldown of fortifying brew, which is this. It's like a 5-minute cooldown, so it's like this is just always up, so that feels a lot better than a lower cooldown on a really long cooldown. And then stagger delays an additional 5% of incoming damage. If it's like 5%, then this like prevents the damage, so why not take this instead? So let's go into the PvP tasks. Adaptation, relentless assault as per usual. Fast feet, because hey, free movement speed all the time when you get attacked. Why not? Because although Yulon's gift could be really useful in battlegrounds when people can snare you a lot. And then eminence, transcendence transfer. I'm not really using that, so if you use that, then maybe that would be a thing. Then hot trap, purifying beauty is 25% of your stagger damage to all enemies for 10 yards, because it's free damage. That's why I use it. And I use this one in micro brew as well, but nah, didn't feel that nice either. Like this one is always up, so that's a lot better. And then airy fermentation could be good again. Could be good in. Could be better than hot shrub in battlegrounds because you have more people attacking you. So and this increases your survivability. So that's then a lot better option. Then here, guard. Because the other two is guided meditation. Zen meditation is something I don't really use because that's this one. Reduces all damage taken by 60% for 8 seconds. Moving, being hit by a melee attack. It's like being hit by a melee attack. What happens in Duels? You get quite often hit by a melee attack, so that one felt useless. Oh, I'm an idiot. Zen meditation no longer cancelled when being struck by a melee attack. So, yeah. Like, I'm an idiot. But, you still don't want this because you can't attack yourself in the meanwhile, so that's why I don't use it. Crafted Nimble Brew. More like a battleground thing than anything else because most classes don't do this in a Duel. Like, do this to the point where you want to cancel it out with the Nimble Brew, so this one is a lot better than, in my opinion. Then, Incendiary Brew. Your next breath of fire has a 100% increased radius and damage. And disorients. It's like, you might think that is nice. But why not double barrel? Because it does more damage than Keg Smash, which means that Keg Smash will hit like a truck. Like Fire Breath, as you can see here, look at how much fire damage it does. Even when it's 100% increased, it still will do like 120k damage. Yeah, 120k damage because it's 100% increased. Then double barrel, 50% additional damage. It already has a base damage of 308k. So it's gonna do like 308k plus 150-ish. Like not counting in defensive things and such. But, so, logic is simple, and it stuns. And like, disoriented is sort of the same. Like second longer of CC, so this is probably more useful on battleground where you need to like CC a lot of people. But this one, again, in 1 vs 1, it's just insane because you can like buff your damage so much. And like, perform a mighty ox kick, hurling your enemy at distance behind you, is like, that one just seems complete another shit, let's be honest. So that's the talents I use and why. So here we are in the gameplay against the Vengeance Demon Hunter. I was super excited to play against tanks. And super surprised that I did this much damage. So, as you can see, I mostly use my 1, 2 and 3 button, which are my damage buttons. Then I have on Shift G my healing ability. Then on 4 I have the brew that like decreases your stagger. Or not removes 50% of your stagger, and like because of the PvP talent does the round damage around you. And I use that mostly to just like remove the damage and like do damage back to them. Then on the E that you have to like take more, that you can take more damage. But that's what I feel like is more PvE ability, but I still have it there just because, essentially. So you want to keep up your Tiger Palm. You want to use it every now and then so you can heal using your talent that you picked, or that I picked. And then what you can do is what I used a lot in this 1 vs 1. That you use in these 1 vs 1s, that you use leg sweep in combination with paralysis to deny the enemy the ability to attack you in such a way that you can wait for your cooldown on Keg Smash and then punish them because they like do damage on them when they have not been able to attack you and not been able to generate resources to use to heal. Because that's what both the Dead Knight and the Vengeance Demon have to do. They need to attack you to generate resource. So I'm not sure if this strategy is effective against the Protection Paladin, but it really works well against the Vengeance Demon Hunter. And I'm sorry about the honking, it's just idiots in the street always because people will just randomly park their cars. But that's beside the point. So, and then you just like always keep Keg Smash on cooldown. Make sure that you heal yourself up. Use the artifact weapon for extra damage. Keep up Jade Wind, which I don't do because I'm not really used to Brewmaster Monk that much. And I actually I waited way too long with well, I didn't wait too long. I started like loading up the damage all in one so that in hopes that I could burst the Demon Hunter down, but I didn't, so now I need to focus back on healing again. But as you can see, you really need to use that 7 ability, which is the like soaking up the chi orbs to heal yourself. Sort of what the Demon Hunter itself has with like Soul Blade, that you can soak up all the fragments. That's exactly what you do with that ability, but it doesn't cost nearly as much. And here you can see, I was like seeing how much damage that would do, but it does no damage. But it's over anyway. And I was really impressed with Brewmaster Monk damage. I was like, let's try again, see if it wasn't a fluke. And I lost my PvP abilities midway through the fight, so let's see if I can do it a bit better now. But this Vengeance Demon Hunter had learned and made it a lot harder for me. So yeah, as I said before in my videos, like I ranked Brewmaster lowest, but after this I'm actually gonna switch it around and I'm gonna rate it second. It's like, so you have Protection Paladin, Brewmaster Monk. I was like, I really did not expect this. It's like people could be saying like now, hey, you should have known, but I've never seen people play Brewmaster Monks, and they never really did that. And then I assume they didn't do that because of the way that like the power balances, that Brewmaster Monk just wasn't strong. But Brewmaster is a lot stronger than you think. It's like the only thing that feels a lot stronger is Protection Paladin, which I didn't get to fight this day because for some reason they were all gone. So yeah, I almost got it, but then they managed to heal with the orb, with the fragments. It's like I can't see those, so I don't know where they are, so I don't know how to kite the person. And in Duels you can really effective use the leg sweep paralysis combo to just deny so much and like set up damage. So in here, as you can see there, the talent came in handy where you the PvP talent, where the lower health you are, the more chance there is for you to, or is it talent, either way. It's like where the lower health you are, the more chance you get to spawn one of those orbs. Which saved my ass there. And I like how this Demon Hunt actually uses the talents that I would use myself, so that's really good to nice to see. In terms of like power comparison, because I feel like my build that I use is really strong. So I paralysis them to get my cooldowns back. And here we go. Here I can smell the kill. Use one Tiger Bomb, too much there. You can see, are we gonna finish? And I just managed to win. And here we go against a Blood Death Knight, the other class that ranked second after Protection Paladin. But this class seems to really suffer, and I accidentally throw my artifact weapon on the anti-magic cell, which isn't that smart. So in Duels, with creative use of paralysis and leg sweep, plus the empowered Keg Smash talent, you can really CC. It's like, what I feel like is like, you can CC them in such a way that they lose the duel, because Vengeance Demon Hunter and I think that's why Blood Death Knight suffers even more, because Vengeance Demon Hunter can like force the healing out with the artifact weapon, and then that PvP time where you can like smash fragments out, but Blood Death Knight can't do that as efficiently. So I feel like Blood DK suffers a lot more from the way you can play with Brewmaster with all the CC. As you can see, there was a really short fight, and here I play again because I wasn't sure because if it was like legit. But like Blood Death Knight suffers so much more from the amount of CC that you throw on the class, because they really need to attack. As you can see, it's really easy for me to beat them. It was super surprising, because I felt like Death Knight was one of the stronger tanks in the game. But apparently they suffer way too much from the way Monk plays against them. And I was right, because I fought like a Blood Dead Knight later randomly when it was a Brawl Fest here, and that Blood Dead Knight actually managed to stay alive a lot better, so I feel like it's just this Blood Dead Knight that doesn't know how to play properly. So, well, it was, it ended up being like the Vengeance Demon Hunter, like a really close fight, so it would appear that that knight is actually weaker than the monk. But that was just up to the player, because here I'm gonna play against a Blood Dead Knight that actually knows how to play. And this guy, who, like, heals what I expected the Dead Knight to heal, so that previous Dead Knight had no clue what the fuck they were doing. Seriously, no clue. This guy plays how Dead Knight was feeling like it should be. So, and this is gonna, like, shift the balance a little bit into what I thought was the rankings. And I will talk about that in the after talk. So enjoy the fight, and you will see that eventually, yeah, spoiler alert, I'm going to lose. But yeah, this is how a Dead Knight should fight, contrary to the other Dead Knight. And whilst I was recorded, I found a Protection Warrior, so I'm gonna put this one in as well. It's like I didn't have my PvP abilities, talents activated, so it's a bit harder fight than it should have been. But yeah, a little bit extra. Enjoy.
I am out of range. I need to get closer. I am out of range.
And here I finish off the fight. And yeah, that's the end of the gameplay. So I had to redo this ending part because of finding the proper Blood Dead Knight, which changes around the rankings a little bit because I assumed that it was every Dead Knight, even though I didn't want to assume it because I fought the Dead Knight twice. But after fighting that proper Dead Knight, yeah, Dead Knights are stronger than Brewmaster Monk, which leads me to the conclusion of that the rankings are as follows: like Protection Paladin first, Blood Dead Knight second, then Brewmaster Monk, Avenged Demon Hunter third combined. It's like they're both equally strong, and like if the like Blood Dead Knights beats Vengeance Demon Hunter if the Vengeance Demon Hunter doesn't use the Eye of Leotos, because that's apparently a real killer for a Blood Dead Knight. And then Protection Warrior and Guardian below that. So like Protection Warrior first and Guardian, and like Guardian felt really clunky to me and not that fun. Protection Warrior I'm probably not playing super well, but it still has potential. It's like it feels the most balanced. So what they need to do is like bring down the damage and healing on the top 4 tanks. It just needs to go down. It like needs to go more towards Protection Warrior level because it's just insane. It's like those, they heal too, at least they heal way too much. Like the top 4 tanks. They're top 4 because they heal way too much. So yeah, that's sort of what I feel like they should go to make the game a bit more balanced and more fun for DPS as well, instead of getting blown up to bits and never being able to kill a tank ever. It's like, although you'll see it tomorrow in the other video. Like, Assassination Rogue actually managed to almost kill Brewmaster Monk like super quickly. I was actually surprised about the DPS. But that's like the only class so far that I've seen that actually managed to kill a tank properly when it comes to DPS. And not counting in like a kiting mage or something. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised about the Brewmaster Monk. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And you will see me in the next video. So I'll talk to you guys the next time.